So in the previous video, we looked at how if we can recognize this specific perfect square trinomial, then we can just rewrite the last number in it, change it to 9, and then we can rewrite it as a perfect square. But x plus 3 squared isn't the only perfect square trinomial. There are a whole bunch of them. I could have x plus 1 squared, I could have x plus 2 squared, I could have x plus 3 squared, I could have x plus 4 squared, I could have x plus 5 squared, and that doesn't even get into things like I could have 2x plus 1 squared, or 23x minus 8 squared if I really wanted to. So I'm not going to be able to make a list of what every single one of these is so that I can recognize it when it's factored. I'm going to have to go more generic and use some placeholders. So when I go generic, I use letters. So eventually what I want to have is I want to have a template for ax plus b squared and for ax minus b squared, because those are the most generic things I can think of. There's some letter in front of my x and I add b. There's some letter in front of my x and I subtract b. But I also noticed that so far I'm only having to deal with the case where this is a plain old x rather than an ax. So I want a simpler template for right now. And maybe I'll add a more complicated template later this year or in Algebra 2, but I would like less to think about right now. So for now, the first template I'm going to make, I'm going to just think about x plus b squared. Well, x plus b squared is the same as x plus b times x plus b. So if I multiply it through, I would get x squared plus bx plus bx plus b squared. I get x squared plus 2bx plus b squared. So what that means is I would like to fit anything else into this template so that I can rewrite it. So let's say I have f of x is equal to x squared plus 10x plus 2. Well, right now I can see right away this doesn't fit the pattern. 2 is not a perfect square. It's definitely not b squared. But I'm going to mess with that number just like I did last time. So the first thing I need to do is I need to rewrite 10 as 2 times something so that I can figure out what my b is. Well, 2 times 5 would be 10. I can just divide 10 by 2 and find out what my b is. So now I know I need my b squared over here. I know that b is 5. So if b is 5, b squared would be 5 squared. So 5 squared is 25. I know I need 25 here. Right now I have 2. And maybe I have a little trouble just figuring out what to adjust everything by. So what I do, I'll keep this like this, 2 times 5x plus 25 minus 25 plus 2. This right here is 0, so I can just add that in. That's going to zero each other out. But this is going to be a perfect square with x and 5, because it matches this pattern. I've got exactly this pattern, so I can rewrite it as this. And I have minus 25 plus 2, so I have a little cleanup there. And I would get x plus 5 squared minus 23.